Yo, what's up, Scorpio? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of October 2018. Scorpio, some of you are going to be feeling a little bit out of balance this month, and that's because you have the Temperance card in reverse as your central energy. So, I feel that this is consistent with the new moon that's going to happen on October 8th. This type of energy that comes with this new moon for you specifically has to do with you're going to feel a little bit unsure about yourself. I don't think it's a big deal, but the energy that comes in with this new moon that's happening on October 8th, it's better energy for introspection. It's better energy for spirituality. You have the High Priestess here in your reading this month. It's showing up as a recent past card, but with these past cards, sometimes it's like the energy comes in and resonates in the month that I draw the card for. Well, I don't actually draw the card, comes out of the deck on its own, but you have the High Priestess here for the month of October 2018, and that would suggest that spirituality is important in your life for some of you. So this new moon energy, it's going to be giving you a bit of self-doubt. It's going to make you feel sort of out of balance a little bit. But the benefits are spiritual development. So I don't know who is in your life who is influencing you. It could be any kind of spirituality. I'd say that if you're watching this video, you're into something that's, more like divination. It's more like you're more into a spirituality. It's like tarot reading or astrology, numerology potentially. So for Scorpios who aren't watching this video, potentially for them, this is more like an organized religion of some sort, potentially for some of you. Now, for your central energy, you also have the Page of Swords in the reverse. And very specifically, that could be indicative of someone who is a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius in your life who is a central focus in the month of October 2018. And I'm not saying that's definite for all of you. For others of you, it might have to do more with if you can't think of any important Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius who is a central focus in your life in the month of October 2018, then potentially Page of Swords is, Page of Swords in the reverse is, sometimes maybe there's somebody in your life, they could be from any sign, but maybe they're too chatty, like there's too much talk, they're too talkative, there's always information, there's always something that they have to say, it doesn't even have to be verbalized, like there just could be too much like it's an information overload. It's like there's too much texting, there's too many emails, it's like, sometimes it might be a little bit much for you. And now for others of you, maybe it's you, maybe you're the one that's too chatty. Maybe you're the one that's too talkative. I'm not saying that's all of you. Maybe that's some of you. For others of you, it could be somebody in your life who exudes these characteristics. For some of you, it's you. For others of you, like I said, it's either, someone important in your life who's a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. You might have a bit of an issue with this person because the card is in the reverse. Now, Temperance in the reverse as your central energy could also be indicative of, some of you guys don't have a good long-term vision. Like, what do you plan on? Like, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Honestly, where do you see 5 to 10 years from now? Like, just close your eyes for a minute. Like, what are you going to be doing? So it's important to create that long-term focus, Scorpio, if you don't have one. Now, for others of you, the Temperance card in the reverse could be that, some of you are led to excess. So, Temperance in the upright would be, everything in moderation, all is good. But with Temperance in the reverse as your central energy, some of you are doing something excessive. Like you're doing something too much, like to the point where it's like dominating your life. It could be anything. So, remember, Scorpio, everything in moderation. You have the Three of Wands as your challenge card. And that's, when the Three of Wands is a challenge card, that would suggest a delay of some sort. And that goes right in hand with Venus retrograde. Retrogrades bring delays. And, this Venus retrograde cycle is actually going to start in your sign on October 5th. So October 5th, Venus is going to go retrograde into your sign. It's going to retrograde so much that it's actually going to shift backwards out of your sign on October 31st. Well, it doesn't actually move backwards, but, if you look at Venus from the perspective of where we are on Earth, it looks like it's going backwards, but it's really not. It's really that the Earth is just going along its orbit. The Earth is passing Venus on its orbit around the sun. So Venus looks, if you look at Venus in the sky, it looks like it's moving backwards. It's not really moving backwards, but it looks like it is. And, October 31st, it'll shift backwards so much that it's going to move out of your sign, and then it won't move forward again until November 16th. So, Venus is the planet of love, and, some of you are trying to get, I'd say for single Scorpios, if you're trying to get a love situation off the ground, don't force it. I'd say just allow it to come together naturally. I feel that following November 16th, you'll have a better idea of how you want to proceed in your love life. And, for some of you, this is, you could be involved with somebody already. Like, who knows, maybe some of you are in a relationship already, but potentially, maybe some of you like somebody else. Could be the case for a few of you. And that could cause a little bit of an issue with some of you in the month of October 2018, because you have the Four of Wands in the reverse, and the Four of Wands if that card would have been in the upright, then that would be indicative of, everything's okay in my marriage, everything's okay in my home life, we're celebrating, we're having a good time. But no, this Four of Wands is in the reverse for you, Scorpio, for the month of October 2018. So I'm not saying, maybe some of you, your marriage is perfectly fine and everything's great. But for, whoever this reading is for, whichever you Scorpios are out there, some of you are having an issue in your marriage. You're not completely satisfied. Some of you are having an issue with home life, potentially. Maybe it's because there's somebody else who's in the picture for some of you. I'm going to go really specific for just a second here, but so you can look at cards in different ways, and when you look at the Temperance card, the Temperance card could be for some of you very specifically, the Temperance card could be somebody who's a Sagittarius. So some of you have a Sagittarius in your life somewhere. And, if you're romantically interested in this person, then, maybe that's why you have the Four of Wands in the reverse, because maybe you're already with somebody, but now you're interested in somebody else. Or it could be any sign. I mean, it could really be any sign, but the signs I'm seeing here are, could be, for some of you, it could be a Sagittarius. For others of you, potentially, maybe you do like, maybe you're already coupled up, but maybe you do like a Gemini. Maybe you do like a Libra or Aquarius. For others of you, maybe you like, here's the Queen of Cups in the reverse. If you're not familiar with tarot, then you probably don't know. It's not about the gender of the card. It's about the suit, and this is the suit of water. So potentially, some of you are attracted to another water sign. Could be a Cancer, could be a Scorpio, could be a Pisces. So, if you're having, if you really are married and thinking about somebody else, then, maybe it is maybe it's a Cancer, maybe it's a Scorpio, maybe it's a Pisces. For others of you, maybe it's a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. For a very select few of you, maybe it's a Sagittarius. So, it could resonate differently for all of you. Maybe this is not the case at all. If your marriage is great, then this reading is not for you, because you actually do have the Lover's card right at the top of your reading. And that would suggest balance and harmony in your relationship. So some of you are really feeling out of sorts with your home life and your marriage, but others of you are feeling good. Like this means that your relationship is going well. If you have a relationship and it's going well, then this card is for you. This Lover's card crowning your reading is like, it's like soulmate potential. I mean, you could see that the higher power is bringing the two people together. You have the High Priestess also. It's a spiritual union. So, you know, like I said, some of you, your marriage is totally fine, and this card is definitely for you if it is. Now, I'm going to go really specific again here because the Lover's card, I mean, I made a discovery within tarot reading, and no other tarot readers have ever made this discovery before. I discovered the use of life path numbers within the tarot. So tarot cards 1 through 9, 11, and 22 are all people's life path numbers. So what you can do is, if you click on the tutorial, the link to the tutorial video I made, it's above the comment section in this video. Click on that link, it'll take you to the tutorial video that I recorded, and I show you how to use someone's date of birth to get their life path number. And for some of you Scorpios, you have somebody in your life who's important, who is the life path number 6. So the Lover's card is someone, you know, very specifically, obviously not all Scorpios have someone in their life who's a life path number 6, but some of you do. And that's indicative, or that's represented through the Lover's card. So check out that video if you want to know. You know, very specifically, a very select few of you are the life path number 6. So if it's not somebody in your life, maybe for a very few of you, it's you. If it's neither, then you're looking at harmony and balance in your relationship. If you're single, go for, I'd say good options for you are the Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or maybe another Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. Or maybe for a few of you, it's a Sagittarius. You are going to have some anxiety and self-doubt a little bit this month, Scorpio, because the 9 of Swords is showing up here in the reverse, which is like, when the 9 of Swords is in the reverse, it almost like strengthens the characteristics of the card, which are, that means like that, like if the card was upright, yeah, it's anxiousness, but then, you know, when the card's in the reverse, the anxiousness becomes even worse. And I'm not saying that's the case for all of you. Maybe some of you are totally fine, you just let it roll off your back, but, you know, for those of you Scorpio who are feeling a bit of anxiousness, this card coincides with that new moon I was talking to you about, on the new moon that's going to happen on October 8th. I mean, that just really brings in that kind of anxious energy for some of you guys. And I don't think that you should really be concerned about it. You have the 6 of Cups as your near future card. So, you know, some of you guys could be having a reunion of some sort. Getting back together with people who you haven't seen in quite some time. You know, or maybe you just don't see these people that often for some of you. So that'll be nice. Get together with some people who haven't seen in quite some time. And, you know, that coincides with Venus retrograde, because Venus is more a planet that's more about, you know, doing things that are leisurely and pleasurable. So, you know, maybe you're just going to have a good time with people who you haven't seen in quite some time, and you're just getting back together with them, and it's going to be a good time for some of you. Retrograde, when planets go retrograde, they sometimes bring elements of your past back into the picture temporarily while it's retrograding. Now, if you're not going to have a reunion with anybody, or for retrograde or for reunion, then, you know, for others of you, this is just like childhood memories. You know, some of you are just thinking about good times that you've had in your life potentially. And you have the Ace of Swords, which is in the reverse. And, once again, I mean, Ace of Swords in the reverse, you're not really on your game. I mean, if the Ace of Swords was in the upright, I'd say, yeah, you're doing your thing and everything's going smoothly. But Ace of Swords in the reverse, you're thrown a little, once again, I feel like a lot of that energy is because of that new moon. That new moon really brings in self-doubt. It's like it has its positives and negatives. It's like the positives are the spiritual development. The negatives, because it's better for introspection. It's better for you, to have moments to yourself where you can just get some rest. Maybe some of you want to pick up a good book, potentially. Others of you, if you really are interested in spirituality, you might be looking at this more than you ever have before with this new moon on October 8th. That's not going to resonate like that for all of you, but some of you definitely. The card right above that, you have the Five of Wands in the reverse, and it's good that card's in the reverse because you don't want fighting in your life anymore. If there's been some kind of conflict where a situation where everyone's in disagreement and everyone's fighting, and maybe there's a certain person in your world who is perpetuating this situation, you don't want it anymore. You're ready to move past this, Scorpio, and I think that's good. Because in November, there's going to be a new moon in your sign, and then you're going to be ready to just move forward. Like, whatever this situation is, you're done with it. You don't even want any parts of it anymore, for some of you. Now, your outcome this month is the Two of Wands in the reverse. And the Two of Wands in the reverse is a card that would imply a fear of the unknown. And once again, we're just going right back to that new moon on October 8th. Because that new moon on October 8th, where it's the part of the sky that it's occurring in for you, Scorpio, is very much does create fear. But you got to remember, fear is just fear. It's not reality. And some of you have fear about different things. It's like, especially some of you with relationships, especially because the full moon that's going to happen on the 24th of October, that actually occurs in an area for you that has to do with relationship in your life. So, maybe some of that fear is like, well, if I do like somebody else, and I maybe split with somebody who I'm with now, is it going to work out? I don't think that you need to be concerned about that, Scorpio. I think you need to have a little bit more faith in allowing your life to come together the way it's naturally supposed to, the way a higher power intends for it to happen for you, Scorpio. So just let go of the fear. Go with the flow. For others of you, this full moon will precipitate a positive development in your relationship. Maybe it's like, if you've been with someone for a while, coupled up, now you're ready to get engaged following the full moon on October 24th. If you're engaged following the full moon on October 24th, now you're ready to get married. If you are single, make it happen. The full moon is going to happen on October 24th. So, create a union with somebody. Flirt. You're never going to be able to connect with somebody unless you communicate with them. Check out your options. For some of you, a great option for you is a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. For others of you, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Very select few of you are looking at a Sagittarius. Maybe for very few of you, someone who's the life path number 6. Could be any other sign. I forgot about this card right here. You have 8 of Swords in the upright. And that's just you you're feeling restricted. And I just feel like this is just for those of you who feel like you're in a relationship that you're not completely happy with. You're like, oh, I'm just staying in this relationship because I don't want to, cause an issue. But this is not good. You can remove yourself from this situation. If you're not happy in your relationship, Scorpio, then just make a change. And the full moon is the time to do it. Following October 24th, that has to do with some kind of shift in your relationship. And if your relationship's perfectly fine, then keep it going. You have the Lover's card at the top of your reading. Thank you very much for watching this video, Scorpio. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram, Gregory Furlan Astrology. If you like to read daily astrology, check me out there. Give me a follow. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.